reversal of the benchmark discount values on vehicles and some selected imports is set to become effective Tuesday, 4th January, according to a letter by the Commissioner of Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, called JoyNews, retired. Now, this follows the reversal of the policy initiated in 2019 to reduce the cost of importing certain class of goods, as announced by Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the 2022 budget. Apart from vehicles, machinery and equipment, the letter listed sugar, pasta, spaghetti and noodles products, palm oil, as among some 32 commodities to be affected by the reversal policy. My colleague Kweku Asante joins me on Zoom with a copy of this letter. Now, Kweku, share with us some details of this letter.
All right, Mab. So according to this letter signed by Ken Ofori-Atta, who is actually the Commissioner in charge of Internal Revenue, this policy is being reversed because government has taken note of the concerns that have been raised by some of the stakeholders. We know that in particular, AGI, the Association of Ghana Industries, have been raising some concerns about what an impact this will have on their local industries. And so they've largely advocated and lobbied for its reversal. And so finally, it's been reversed. Mm-hmm. This letter is actually addressed to most of GRAs and their sectors all across the country to explain to them how they are going to be able to optimize the returns of the reversal of this policy. Yeah. And so what we know is that government initiated this policy in 2019 to cushion importers. And so when you are importing these class of goods under this policy, it came with certain amount of discount, up to in some instances more than 30%. And that was expected to cushion importers. And GUTA in particular was one of those who were very much excited about the idea that this policy had been introduced. And so now that it is being reversed, they are up in arms and we'll get there very soon. But then so just like you mentioned, cars, sugar, rice, and a number of things that are made in major ways imported into Ghana are going to be reversed and they are not going to attract discounts anymore. And so Ken Ofori-Atta is telling their sector commanders, DRA, and all the officers in the nationwide to ensure that they are able to fully optimize this situation and ensure that the returns are maximum for government.
Now, what does this mean in simple terms for the layman?
Right, Mapito, so what this means in simple terms is that the importation of these class of goods will revert to their old and former prices. That means cost of importing these goods will go up. So if we're importing a car for, say, 50,000 Ghana cedis, and it was discounted 30%, this 30% is coming back again. And so you are going to pay the full cost of importing that vehicle. This will ordinarily mean that the importer is going to pass on this to the consumer and ensure that you pay exactly for what they have paid at the ports. And so for much of the things that Ghanaians use a lot, sugar, rice, that the country is not self-sufficient. Yeah. And for which this policy has been reversed, it means that the prices are going to go up significantly by at least 30%, because that is by how much they were discounted at the ports. Okay. And that is what GUTA has been explaining, yes.
So we mentioned sugar, you mentioned pasta, spaghetti, noodle products, palm oil that will be affected by this change in policy. Can you give us more products and goods?
Right, so vehicles, machinery, equipment that are actually needed by even industries in Ghana to operate are going to go up. There are 32 classes of goods that are going to attract this 30% reversal discount. Okay. And AGI have been lobbying particularly to ensure that this is reversed. And so machinery, pasta, sugar, rice, these are some of the major things on the list of these 32 discounted items.
Now let's talk about the reaction of the industry to this change in policy.
First, GUTA President Dr. Joseph Obeng says this is going to lead to a significant increase in the prices. You can listen to him.
Prices are going to double. How? Because the benchmark value was the only last straw that businesses were holding. At this time, the effect of COVID is so huge.
Kweku, you've also been speaking to the first Vice President of GUTA and Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association. What have they been saying?
So Clement Boateng is the first Vice Chairman of GUTA, as well as Samson Awengobe Tasaki of the Exporters and Importers Association. The point they've been making to me is that this policy has not been well thought through, and that looking at the standing of the economy currently, government had to pull some brakes on this until some significant engagement has been had with stakeholders in the sector. In particular, GUTA has been warning that they are going to pass on this price and the cost of importing these goods to the consumer. So the consumer should brace themselves up for more increment in the prices on the market. On their part, the Exporters and Importers Association want government to pull the brakes on this reversal of policy for now and ensure that significant consultation is done.
All right, let's take a look at that conversation you had with them.
The reversal of this benchmark value is not right, and we think it is going to have a very negative impact on businesses. We all know that this reversal has come about as a result of lobbying of AGI, but we think AGI don't have the capacity to produce the things that the benchmark value has been taken off. And so we think GUTA has an unfinished business with the government. We will still continue to engage government and see what best could be done. But as you have said, it is going to take effect from tomorrow. So if it takes effect from tomorrow, then consumers should brace themselves up for price increase, because no businessman, importer or exporter is Father Christmas, and for every cost that is going to be incurred by an importer or businessman will definitely be passed on to the consumer. So if it takes effect from tomorrow, consumers should brace themselves up for price increment. But we think, like I told you, we still have an unfinished business with government. We will still continue to engage government and see, how possible best, this benchmark, reversal, could be, changed.
Let me come to Mr. Samson Awingobet. Mr. Samson Awingobet, what are your impressions about the reversal? Are you for it or you are against it?
Well, I cannot say I am for it or I'm against it, but the truth of the matter is that we think that it's not the right time. Look at the economic situations of ordinary Ghanaians, their financial status, vis-a-vis, if they say government is the largest employer or the private sector, how many within the 2019-2020, 2021, how many Ghanaians have gotten jobs and getting good pay? I strongly believe that it's not the right time. Look at the cost of living in the country now. And as my colleague just said, what are the capacity that we have on those commodities that the benchmark value should be reversed come tomorrow? What is going to happen is that our friends from the AGI don't have the capacity, to the best of my knowledge. They are not, even if they have their factories sitting there, they don't have they are not producing up to optimum, and they know that it's not about the benchmark values that is making them not producing up to optimum. It's as a result of the cost of borrowing in this country. It's as a result of the cost of utility tariff in this country. And so they knowing very well. And as I said, very soon, AGI will be exposed. They will be exposed by the African Continental Free Trade. That is coming on board very soon, where we have people in South Africa, Kenya, and the rest are borrowing at a lower rate, are using lower utility tariff, can produce up to optimum, and they are going to bring their product into this country as well and sell, and we will take it there. That is where they will see a real competition. For me, I strongly believe that rice production in this country is not yet up to 500,000 metric tons, let alone the 700,000 to 800,000 metric tons that Ghanaian rice importers are bringing. Besides that, rice importers, ECOWAS sub-region, they are paying 10% import duty. Ghana, they are paying 20% import duty. That is already a deterrent to the importers, or a cost that they are born out of the importers. Frozen food importers, biscuit, cooking oil, others. Globally, under the ECOWAS common external tariff, are paying 20%. Even Africa, they are paying 20% import duty. In Ghana, we have implemented the highest value, 35% plus fees and charges. as we speak with you, if assuming tomorrow they reverse the benchmark value as a state, there's a bill before Parliament, and I'm sure it has been passed by now, only that the education has not been done, that fees and charges will be increased across board by 15%. That is also going to be a cost, knowing that if you bring goods through the port and you are not just paying only duty, you pay duty plus fees and charges by this institution. And so that is going to be a huge, huge cost, and we will definitely see it. If you ask me, I will tell you, I mean, our importers should get in the second quarter, already this first quarter, product at the port. We will try and clear those goods. By first, second quarter, they should not import, and let's see where the country will go. We are going to have a very, very severe shortage of food, and there will be food insecurity. What our people are bringing, they are bringing it because there's a shortfall, there's gap, and they are coming to show up. That's why we have not run out of food hunger or food shortages in this country. I strongly believe that the government will have to reason again. If you ask me, I'll tell you the Minister of Finance should reverse these benchmark values. I mean, should stop this implementation by tomorrow, and let's look at it in a medium to long term. These are short-term measures that they are going to cause injuries on the economy of this country. As we speak now, what is the dollar rate in this country? It's also going to be another way of pricing of goods. If one goes to the port and they reverse to clear your car and they reverse the 30% benchmark values, and they reverse, if you are clearing cooking, whether cement, clinker, cooking oil, rice, whatever, and they reverse the 50% benchmark values, and you meet another high dollar rate, that tells us that from tomorrow going, we all collectively, if you go to the market, expect a new price at the market.
Sure. Let me come to Mr. Barton again. Mr. Wingobit here has made a point about, a protest of a sort, holding on to some of these importation in the next quarter, so that Ghanaians and the government can feel the pinch of this reversal. Is that something you will subscribe to, or is this something you will take into consideration?
Well, that is, protest also is a democratic, right of, registering, your protest or displeasure if you think something is not good, for you. So when we get to the bridge, yes, we will cross. But like he said, all the things that he said, I think they are right, because if you look at our total metric tons of rice that the country is supposed to have, which is about 800,000, and we are just those who are producing it are in the range of 300 to 400,000. Then that shortfall, where do we get it from? We still have to import it, and if we have to import it, and then you have reverse this benchmark reduction, then definitely prices is going to be up. So we think government must take a second look. Government should not be pushed to the wall, or should not be lobbied by those who are seeking their own self-interest. But governments must look at the totality of the Ghanaians and the purchasing power of the Ghanaians. That is the bottom line. It is not about somebody's interest. If the person has got the capacity to produce, what is the point in sitting in a plane, traveling so many kilometers away, renting a hotel, and then incur those costs there if I can get the product in Ghana here? But this is the situation is that they don't have the capacity to produce now. So it should be a gradual process, but not a short-term policy that within the shortest possible time government says we are reversing the benchmark value. I don't think it's right, and governments must take a second look at it.
Right. Finally, one of the reasons government says that one of the reasons introduced the policy was to cushion you because of some of the economic hardships, economic challenges. They say the target of the policy has been achieved. That is why they want to reverse it now. Is this something you subscribe to?
It is not true. It is not true. What has been achieved? You see, some of the government communicators, go around propagating that, the reasons, that government embark on this benchmark reduction, has not been achieved. I can tell you, it has been achieved 100% and over. Had it not been this benchmark reduction, prices would have been much higher. Even with the present a benchmark reduction that we are enjoying. You could bear with me that during this Christmas, people were crying that prices are high. Prices are high because of one. World commodity prices, have gone up. Exchange rates have gone up. Freight charges have gone up. And so all the goods which came for this Christmas festivities, have to attract some sort of increment. So therefore, if this benchmark is going to be reversed, then there's going to be further increase. And so therefore, it is the consumer who is going to, suffer. So I think government must take a second look at it. Otherwise, there's going to be chaos in this country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boateng. Mr. Boateng is the first Vice President of Ghana Union of Traders Association. Let me end with Mr. Awengobet. What do you think should be the game plan going forward so that both AGI, GUTA, and all other interested stakeholders can come to a certain common ground on this issue?
I think AGI has, all of us have to sit on round table, including the government. Let AGI be able to convince us, tell government that truly and truly within their heart, what are the expertise they have, at what commodity do they have the capacity, not that just having the capacity, but they have it in volumes, in terms of metric tons, that and then at what price is it going out there, so that they think that these are our top three, topmost, that we have, we are not just that we are, if you say you have a capacity, it's different from we are produced, it's there, it's available, so that these business people would go there and buy it. You understand? So I think that we need a national dialogue. Government should not do a rush to implement this and to cause injuries, as I said, on the ordinary Ghanaian, knowing very well that even salary increment you could not increase just 4% per 2 years. This is the first time I'm hearing this. And so already Ghanaians, during the Christmas and the New Year, people were complaining about how the cost of goods and prices are. As we speak, if benchmark value is being reversed, you will see more chaotic in this country. For me, I think that we are ready, our doors are open, we are prepared to sit with AGI, we are prepared to sit with the government, and let's look at it. There's no rush to implement this policy come tomorrow. I mean, as we speak, people have cargo sitting at the port. Even with the benchmark values, they are struggling to get money, to raise money to be able to pay duty. You've heard people say that they are auctioning their container. They are not happy for their container to be auctioned at the port, simply because they have to look for money. Look at the dollar rate. The government told us some time ago, I think in 2021, that they were going to hold the dollar for like 3 months. They couldn't. As we speak, dollar standing around 6 point something to the city. So I can tell you, these are not normal times. And why? First month of the year, first quarter of the year. Please, after Christmas, how Ghanaians struggled to sail through the first quarter. This shouldn't be this is not the right time. These are not normal times.
So I've been speaking to Mr. Awengobet and then Mr. Boateng from GUTA and also from the Importers and Exporters Association. The point has been made that prices of goods will go up effective tomorrow when this benchmark policy reversal takes place, and they want government to continue the dialogue with both stakeholders, the AGI, GUTA and other interested stakeholders, to ensure that we are able to cushion those who are exporting and also those who are creating the goods in this country. We'll see what happens tomorrow, but for now, that is the message, that is the point that has come out, and we are expecting government to come out with some sort of response to try and be able to get both sides to be on the same page.
Other items to be affected include crude and refined oils, finished aluminium products, as well as toilet, facial tissue and towels, biscuits, pharmaceutical products, others including chocolate products, clinker cement, mosquito coils, ceramic tiles, agricultural inputs such as machetes, fruit juices, tomato paste, selected soap and detergent products. Lubricants, alcoholic and carbonated drinks and beverages were also affected. You're still watching Joy News Desk with me, Mapito Sibidi. I'll take you to Kumase shortly, so stay tuned.